So I've got a user request. This comes from my good friend Robert. Hey, Robert. He requested we react to Buckethead. Have you heard of Buckethead?
Yeah, guitar player.
Yeah, see, I've never heard of him. He was telling me he's a great guitar player. I'm like, okay. Apparently, he's a guy who wears a bucket on his head and kind of like a Mike Myers mask, a Halloween mask. And it's like the unknown guitarist. So he made it big on the Gong Show. No. So, I mean, that's a shtick, but is there good music behind it? Can he play? Robert says he can. So I want to check it out. So the song is called Soothsayer, and there were multiple versions of this online, so I chose one that was labeled the best live version. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, but he's right. I've seen him play guitar, and he definitely has skills, and I've seen him play with Les Claypool and Primus.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So yeah, he's definitely got skills. Question is whether I'll dig the music and the genre of music. But
yeah. Let's check him out. Let's check out Buckethead playing Soothsayer live. All right. I'm excited. Buckethead. I don't know what his real name is, but I'm sure that you could find that out. So, Soothsayer live. There he is. Little creepy.
It looks normal. You know who I'm thinking of right now, don't you?
He's a fast one.
You know who I'm thinking of. How'd you come to pick that one?
That seems to be his most popular song, actually.
Really?
When I looked him up, that was all over the place.
Soothsayer. Hey, you can find it at www.selfindulgent.com.
Yeah, but you know what? I was pretty into it. So you know what this reminds me of? I get in these moods.
I was thinking about it when I said that.
Well, I'm not really sure which direction
Chris
you're going.
Impellitteri.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was doing the scale,
going up the scale, up and down. Yeah. But so here's the thing: he's not a hack. He's got skills.
Yeah.
He reminds me of when I get into these moods where literally I will play a chord progression just over and over again, and then just self-indulge, like you said, just become self-indulgent in my jamming to it. I can, for me, that is a huge release. It's a beautiful thing for me. I don't know that anyone listening to me in particular would feel the same way. But I can totally relate to what he's doing. I can totally see us going up on stage and doing, jamming along to it just like he was doing. And I just love it. To me, the essence of music is being able to create it on the spot, improv.
Sure. Yeah. Improv, self-expression.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. As guitarist, I can tell he's going through scales and he's doing the alternate picking and, just speed exercises and stuff. But he does put it together, at least from what I've seen in this video, he does put it together with some really tasty licks. And I kind of like his style.
I do too, actually. I'm sure you thought I was going in a different direction, but I meant that not in a bad way, really. Self-indulgent. It was just, it's a cool chord progression. We've done that many times where it's a minor, major progression, and it's conducive to just jamming. That was 9-something minutes, right?
9 minutes, 17 seconds.
And I could put that on for 2 hours.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, so it's very good. He this is Brian Carroll we're talking about. He's our age. He's 50. He's
that's his real name. Buckethead's real name.
Brian Patrick Carroll. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been through a lot. He has a potentially life-threatening illness, actually, cardiac arrhythmias, which he I think had a procedure done to help avoid that. But he was voted, I think, like 20 guitar players all-time weirdest guitarists. He's up there. He was, I think, Guitar World. He was voted one of the fastest guitarists, and definitely got skills. And actually, Buckethead apparently came from when he was a kid and found Halloween 4.
Yeah,
and he went and bought a similar-looking mask. Put that on. That night happened to be eating chicken.
Yeah,
and he put the bucket on his head with the mask. Looked in the mirror and said, "Buckethead,"
and that was it.
Born. Yeah, wow. And it's quite an interesting, persona that he.
Well, it's interesting because obviously that's kind of a shtick. That's a gimmick to get people to look over and go, "Wait, what? What am I looking at here?" And then you hear him, and it's like, "Oh, all right, he's a pretty killer guitarist. I want to hear more of this." And of course, then it adds to the whole allure. Who is Buckethead? What does he look like? Because it seems like every video I've seen, he's playing with the mask on, he's playing with the bucket. And that's what he does.
It works. It works. Just think about the whole concept of what the movie The Mask was about.
Yeah.
We all wear masks, and
or hell, the unknown comic, the unknown comedian from the 70s.
Well, we grew up in the 70s. Don't you remember that time? I remember vividly the time where all of us were wondering what the hell the guys from Kiss looked like without their makeup.
Exactly.
And we would look in magazines trying to see if the paparazzi found a clip, and they found him, we got a shot from the side, and it was this mystique. And it's just, it's just another guitar player. No, but he's got a bucket on his fucking head. I mean, I got to see
And we don't know what he looks like. That's the key there. I mean, wearing a bucket is one thing, but not showing your face while you're performing and sticking to that. It's a gimmick, but it kind of works. It's a mystique. I want to know what does this guy do? What is, he has substance behind it. It's not just a gimmick. And then it's like, oh, well, he's mediocre. No, it's a gimmick, but it pulls you in and it makes me want to start listening to all sorts of Buckethead things. Apparently he's got tons of albums out.
And a lot of different genres. A lot of it's sort of metally funk, and that's why he played with Claypool. He played with the guys from Parliament Funkadelic. Well, if you knew that, Bernie Worrell, and so there's Mbutsi, and so there's other stuff there. And I imagine it's a wider library than we realize.
He's a for real musician. I mean, that's the case. I mean, like you said, this is a little self-indulgent. But honestly, not for me. I could totally.
No, not for me either. Again, I was just free material.
And it's true when the whole song is a guy jamming on guitar. Yeah, it's a little self-indulgent for that guitarist, but I appreciate that, and I love listening to guitarist improv. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and when they do it right, and he did it right, it was very cool.
And he has a bucket on his head.
And he has a bucket on his head. And I have no idea what he looks like.
Don't you want to know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do I want to know? Maybe I don't want to know. Keep the mystique.
That's right. That's right. We did get a couple of glimpses of what Michael looked like when the mask came on, but real quick.
No, this was great. Robert, thank you. This was awesome. I really enjoyed this. It really makes me want to learn all about him and what he, listen to his albums, his collaborations with other artists. Yeah, this is very cool.
Express yourself, even if you have to wear a bucket on your head.
Well, I can see this being a useful tool for people who might have anxiety about going up on stage or something like that. If I'm wearing a mask and I'm on stage, there's that barrier between me and the audience that I'm like, oh, they don't know who I am. I could do anything and it doesn't matter. So it kind of frees you up a little bit. So I don't know if that had anything to do with him or not, but I could totally see that working. Like if I were wearing a mask on stage, I think I'd play a little differently than if I'm me. I'd be less likely to be nervous or whatever.
Hey, look at Jim Morrison. I mean, the first little while he couldn't face the stage. He was, his back was towards the stage. All Jim Morrison needed was a damn bucket.
Yeah, exactly. He could have been the original Buckethead.
It's too pretty for that, but yeah.
Well, thanks again, Robert. This was great. Please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you know whenever we come out with new stuff.
Do it right now. Did you do it? Don't forget to do that if you haven't done that yet. So just do that.
We'll wait. We'll wait. No, go ahead.
Yeah, hang on. What you got up to this morning? Or
I think they're good. All right.
End scene.
All right, guys. Until next time, keep rocking.